Happy Friday.
Yes, happy
Happy
Friday.
New Year.
Yes, it is January 1st today when we're filming. This will be coming out tomorrow on Friday. All right, what are the four things? The four things we need to know about in this video. What are they going to be
So
about?
we are going to do a year in review for 2025. What's coming in 2026? A big thank you from us. And a look back on the OG system setup. We're traveling back in time, people.
Yes, so and no one has seen this footage ever. When I originally set up the system, the prototype, all of that's been filmed, and I want to give you a little sneak peek. So 2025, phenomenal year.
Phenomenal
Saw
year.
lots of growth. Very
Yes.
excited. I'm glad we made it through. Like all years, there are some definite rough patches, but just a couple things off the list.
Yeah.
Some highlights. It's certainly not like a full year in review.
Right.
It'd be neat to see that, but expanding the system. We've done a lot of system expansion.
A lot.
And part of that expansion is the room you're sitting in now, or we're sitting in. This is a Scud-free room. So all those out there who aren't Scud fans, I haven't been able to really provide you a Scud-free culture because the whole, the other room is like the Scud room, and it was hard to have bodies of water in there that were Scud-free and keep them Scud-free very long with all kinds of net contamination and different things. So Scud-free room. Also in this room is our Daphnia, Moina, green water, isopods, and some shrimp. A lot of other shrimp is in the Scud room as well. So, yeah, Scud-free room. We've doubled our water capacity, but more importantly, we've like quadrupled our substrate surface area. So at the beginning of 2025, we were mostly blue barrels still. Maybe we were kind of the experimenting with the 50-gallon agricultural water troughs, things you would like maybe, I don't know, water goats out in the field with.
Okay.
I don't know. You buy them at like a farm store. It's like a Rubbermaid brand, 50-gallon trough. It's a little over 4 feet wide, almost 3 feet, or 4 feet long, 3 feet wide, about a foot deep. It's 50 gallons. So compare that to a 55-gallon blue barrel, same water volume roughly, but the surface area of the substrate layer, that surface area in that black trough is so much more. So we've gone strictly to those. Now we have some blue barrels, and we've actually just set up about 10 new barrels, but they are for water storage to bring water in through the filters, store it in the heated room to let it come up to temperature for a day or so. Then we can use it for water changes or whatever we need to use it for. So as far as blue barrels, when we started way back when, we collected up a ton of these blue barrels. That was mainly what our system was built out of. But it's very tall. If you think about it, it's good for like fish and things like that. But the surface area, you've got 50 gallons.
Yeah.
They're about 23 inches roughly in diameter, a circle. So, go down to the bottom of that, the substrate layer, it's 23 inches in diameter. And all the creatures we breed, snails, scuds, these aquatic isopods, they really like that, the cherry shrimp, they're living in that benthic zone.
Benthic,
They like that surface area on the bottom. So it doesn't make sense. I guess I had more success with breeding scuds. If I had a 50-gallon Rubbermaid tub, I could breed 10 times more scuds in it than a 55-gallon blue barrel. So I think 2025, we had about maybe 8 of these black troughs or these black tubs in our system. At the end of 2025, we I think have 43 now. So we've got quite a few of those. We also have maybe 15 of the 100-gallon black tubs as well. So we've increased our water capacity. We've also more than I'd say quadrupled. I didn't quite do the math, but we have so much more surface area in the substrate layer than we did at the start of the year.
Yeah.
We also learned a tremendous amount about water quality, moving botanicals and creatures through systems. So in any given week, we're sending out 200 plus little seed pods, plus all the leaf litter that goes with it in these cultures. So what happens to these towers or these bodies of water as we're moving lots of botanicals through them, we're feeding a lot, we're doing a lot of different things. Where's the manual or the instructions for this? Well, there isn't one. So we've kind of been making it up, as we go, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's been, how do we maintain water quality? How do we minimize the labor there? How do we automate some of these water systems? And what's actually beneficial for the creatures and the animals inside? What's going to make them comfortable so they can reproduce, so we can, have something to send out all over the place.
Yep.
So we've learned a lot. And this is so important because this is kind of the first real step into scaling up, in a sense. So we brought Kara on. Yay!
Yay!
So what that has done is it really is freeing me up to do some things that I haven't been able to do. So I've done more customer outreach, more expansion work, more figuring out water chemistry things in the last couple months than I have in like the last 2 years, because she's been able to come in here and do a lot of these things that I had been doing. Then that freed me up to do other things. So we've also been able to, with the addition of her, be more consistent in this content and bringing this kind of video like the Friday 4 to you is mainly because of her. Yay. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
There's lots to come. I would like to get back to also some like species profile videos where I just, spend an hour talking about a specific creature.
People miss it, Tony. We hear it all the time. The comments.
The comments.
The emails.
The emails. What else?
People just reach out. They're like, I miss that soft-spoken, put me to sleep, make me feel good, Tony.
Make me feel good, Tony.
Yeah.
Whew.
People.
It's getting hot over here.
Oh,
I'm sweating. It is pretty warm. We got a heater like blowing right on us, and it's getting hot.
We got to keep the bamboo comfortable and all,
Hey, yeah, you haven't seen this in a while. I kind of shut up about the bamboo a minute, but don't think I've quit thinking about it. So if you go back to the first couple videos, the Friday 4s, this was in there. And I think the very first one, I think I gotten it like that day or planned it the day before.
Yeah.
So as you'll see, maybe you can compare and see if there's any new growth on this.
Oh,
I think there is. Looks a little bushier.
Yeah.
It's always been here, but usually we move it out of the way for the video. Well, I just left it there.
We decided.
I threw this jacket over the blue barrel to take away that big
eyesore of a
the big eyesore. So we'll do a bamboo update at some point, but some of it's good.
Not right
some
now.
Of it's,
Right now we're talking about what's coming up in 2026.
Okay, yeah, keep me on track. I gotta get some caffeine in me to get me charged up. So I get really excited when we reminisce about the past and what we've done, but those are laurels, and we're not gonna rest on those. We don't.
No.
That's already done. And the most exciting part is what's cooking up in my brain for 2026.
Ready to move forward.
And I'll give you the rundown. Again, these are just some highlights. There's so much more to come. But I want to, here's the list. 2026, we're going to be automating all the water processes, automating or semi-automating. So, we've got a lot of water moving through this place now, and we have to bring water in. It has to come up to temperature. Then it gets distributed to do water changes.
Yes.
Tanks are overflowing. We're siphoning. We're doing all this work. It needs to be every process really in our situation, because we're trying to create, this is like a big machine, and the more efficient and better we make it, the easier it is for us to come up with new stuff and do more things.
Yeah.
If we're spending all of our time, dragging hose out, hooking it up, starting siphons,
right,
and, making sure this, and then forgetting about it, then the water level got too low, and then now we're, drag out some more hose, hook up the pump water in, then we walk away, 20 minutes later, oh crap, and then it's been overflowing on the floor for 30 minutes.
Right.
That's like a weekly thing. Like there's always something overflowing somewhere here. And we have in the last month, again, because Kara's here now, it's freed me up to really be able to do some of this expansion work, not just on the weekends when I come in, but actually on regular work days.
Yeah.
We have done a lot of work to kind of that semi-automate, I call it. So you could fully automate it with electrical valves and things, but for right now, to do like a water change on a tower, You just open a valve. It's going to lower down to a certain point, stop. Then you close that valve, then you open up another valve, and then water from a specific tank drains into it, and it does a measured amount of water change. So, and that's very minimal. You can, if you had 8 towers in this room right now, there are 8 200-gallon systems, plus some other stuff. But as far as like towers go, there's 8 towers in here, and you can, by turning 8 valves, do a whole water change. So in the time it takes to turn a valve, you've basically done it. And you can, at any point in the process, walk away and never come back. Come back whenever, hours later. Occasionally, like, the subconscious slips in and it's like, get out of here! Never come back!
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Come back like an hour later and nothing happened. It just finished its process. And we are going to, here in the next coming month or so, once this room is finalized, we've literally got behind the camera. It's just a total wreck right now. It's a total wreck. We brought in some 4 IBC totes, which couldn't fit through the door, so we actually had to take out part of the wall temporarily, which was fun. But we've really brought in a lot of stuff to try to expand our water capacity so we're able to flush the system more often. Because in our situation, that's going to be very important, because this is not a balanced aquarium sitting at home with no inputs. This has got lots of inputs, lots of things going through it. So it's not just a balanced thing that can sit there with no water change. Okay, so yeah, increasing water storage. I kind of touched on that. We've brought in, I think it's a total of like 2,500 gallons worth of holding like containers between like some IBC totes, some blue barrels. They're up in the air. The blue barrels are kind of toward the ceiling so they can be at the warmest part. So we will bring filtered water, will be pumped into those. They fill up, and then that stays in the room overnight at least, so it can come up to some kind of temperature, and then it's not cold. So okay, give you a little backstory here. So we've created some of these systems. I was just pumping in, I say pumping, but turn on the tap, it goes through a water filter, and then it goes directly into the systems. This time of year, it's very cold, and that water coming out of the tap can be as low as 50 some degrees. And you've got your water temperature here in the winter. We're trying to keep it around 70 to 72 degrees. Dumping in, 50 gallons of 50-degree water is going to really, it's just, once a week or so, I'm just slamming a cold. And that cold water coming in is possibly triggering, over time, it's getting chilly in here. I'm a scud or an isopod. Well, the isopods don't mind it so much, but I'm a scud. Daphnia, some of these creatures, and it's like, it's getting chilly. That's triggering like a natural response for me to not go into reproduction mode because winter's coming. So it's not that the cold water is too cold, it's going to shock them and kill them. It's not that they can't survive. Scuds can survive in 55-degree water, but it's that it's going to give them like an environmental cue. So I want to bring that water in, store it in here overnight or a day or two so it can come up to temperature. I mean, that just makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and we're plumbing that right now. And once it's all done, we'll give you like a full tour of the system as it sits at this moment. Okay, so increase the capacity. I have a real goal of reaching the 10,000 gallon mark before the end of 2026.
Watch that pencil. Don't jab me in the eye.
So I don't know. It fluctuates because, we at one point were sitting at around 5,000 gallons, and we made some trade-offs. We got a bunch of black tubs. Our actual water capacity went down for a little bit. We've added a bunch more barrels and tubs and everything. So I've not actually calculated all of it now, but by within this year of 2026, I'd like to get that up to 10,000 gallons, just so we have more water to work with, more substrate, more systems. And once we increase all these systems out, we will be able to really have, this, 5,000 gallon section, and it's not one system's 5,000 gallons. One 5,000 gallon area may be comprised of, 200, 200, 200, 200 gallon systems or
Yeah.
500 gallon systems. But this several thousand gallon areas reserved for scuds. This is for isopods. This is for cherry shrimp. This is for snails. You know, I would love to have like dedicated snail towers, but right now the snails are just kind of growing everywhere with everything. So that's why it's important. I mean, that seems like a lot of water, right? But I want to divide up some, it is a lot of water, and that's great. But I want to divide some of this up because when you're trying to, a lot of things that may not make sense for an at-home situation, a community aquarium, you know, it makes sense here because we are trying to fulfill orders. And when Monday comes around and we've got 150 orders to send out, you know, we are going to certain areas and pulling these creatures. And, you know, if you're trying to grow Daphnia to feed a few fish, you may be able to successfully do that in a tank that's, you know, community style tank with other creatures. But if you're needing to fill, you know, 25 cultures in one day, and each culture's got 300 Daphnia, and you're going to do that again tomorrow, and then again the next day, week after week after week, you need to be on more of a schedule with your Daphnia production, and that may not fit the same schedule as, you know, growing isopods, which then may not fit the same schedule as the cherry shrimp, which maybe want to be a little warmer. So by having an increased capacity and more tanks and more towers, we'll be able to do this a little more efficiently. And once we're more efficient, then the price goes down. Then, you know, years go by and we haven't had to like jack everything up. We've been able to keep maintaining it because we're able to more easily produce.
Yes. The greenhouse.
The greenhouse.
It's coming. People.
It's coming. So in this little mock-up studio we're in right now is temporary. I've got some ideas for like a more...
We're wanting to put a door right here.
Yeah. So right behind going that way. So if you were to like 8 inches behind my hand right now is the outside. That's a wall. Then there's like an 8-foot gap. And then there's another wall. And then it goes that way like 40 feet. So it's like 8 foot wide by 40 feet.
I'm going to take that out of your hand.
Get that pencil out of my hand. So it's like a big long corridor. And it's kind of facing east and west between the two buildings.
You are hardcore talking with your hands right
I can't help it. I talk with my hands, Kara. You know that.
I know that. I just about got slapped like 4 times.
All right. I'll keep it small. 8 foot by 40 feet. Is that better?
Yes. I feel less in danger.
The sun's going east and west. The long part's going east and west. Now, obviously, the sun's track is moving throughout the year. It's not just perfectly lined up with that. But the point is, it's in a pretty decent spot. It at any given time of year, it might get 6 to 8 hours of direct sun at different points, which is good. We don't necessarily want it. We don't need it, rather, in the wide open sun. And also being sandwiched between 2 buildings that are heated. That's going to make it overall easier to heat in the wintertime. So once we're able to move outside, in the sun rather, it's not outside, it's going to be a sealed up. It's not going to be like, it's not just a roof over it. You know, it's important for me to keep these cultures indoor, to grow all of this inside. So when we move out to the greenhouse, it's going to be very sealed up. It'll be probably, the roof will be made of those polycarbonate greenhouse panels rather than just like plastic. And it'll be like an angled roof all the way down from this point being the highest, ramping down. And I'm very excited because we will be able to do something with plants out there. Hornwort and things, you know, it's not as easy to grow that inside as it is outside. So we'll be able to, with the power of the sun, I think we'll just do a lot better with a lot of things. From creature rearing to the plants, 8 foot by 40 foot, that's going to give us some more space. We'll be able to stick something down the middle, maybe like a row of IBC totes, and then do some kind of shelving and do maybe a row of black, those 50-gallon troughs, do plants in the top, something in the bottom. And then maybe at that point, we'll be able to break into seriously diving into the guppy rearing or something like that. You know, we've never really had the fish thing going with any kind of scale, and that would be something something neat. I'd like to dive into some other feeders like the black worms, maybe some creature specific cultures I don't have, like seed shrimp cultures, copepods, rotifers, stuff like that. That would be really cool to get some more creatures in the mix.
Yeah.
Educate customers a lot more, maybe solidify branding, actually kind of go through the website, make sure every product is polished, make sure everything has a really high quality, consistent video associated with it. That's all, what's the word I'm searching for? Not consistent. Yeah, consistent I think works great. So everything is kind of the same. This is the style of video for the how-to on this product. And if you're looking at white worms, microworms, vinegar eels, scuds, isopods, cherry shrimp, the earth cycle jar, the land isopods, terrestrial isopods, everything's got like kind of a similar feel, vibe, video associated with it. So you kind of understand, okay, I'm going to buy this thing. Maybe I don't know everything about it. I'm going to do some research first. Okay, I'm comfortable with it. Now I'm going to purchase it. I have it here. Okay, I received it. Here's what it looks like as I received it. What do I do with it?
Right. So like here's what you're working with. Here's what to expect kind of thing.
Yeah, you got this container in from a box from us. What do I do with it?
Yeah.
There should be a video and associated with every product. And, you know, we've got a lot of that, but we don't have all of it. So that's something in 2026 we're really going to tackle.
Make it happen. Ooh, thought you about ripped that.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
No ripping.
All right.
So number 3, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We could not be sitting here, and you hear this a million times from all kinds of people, you know, like we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
But
seriously, we like we have managed to have like our family's income come from Phillips Fish Works,
which is wild.
Which only exists because people every single week go to phillipsfishworks.com and buy Bag of Bugs, Leafy Bugs. They get these, you know, Daphne, Amoyna feeders, green water. They get the green water machine, the earth cycle jar, all these different, you know, cool things. And we're very excited to be able to put them together and to provide them for you.
Yeah.
But we are very grounded in knowing that, you know, it's not like us, it's you guys.
Yeah.
It's not us really doing this. It's you all, because the only reason I get to, you know, figure out how to fit 4 IBC totes back in this small space is because I'm able to, because I have a legitimate, you know, if there weren't orders coming in every week that then we were sending out, it wouldn't make sense for me to be able to do this. I couldn't do it. I physically could not. There would be no budget in my life to, okay, now I need to buy, you know, I think in the beginning of 2025, we had, did I already say this? We had like 8 of these black troughs.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of 2025, I had like 42 or 43.
Yeah.
Those aren't free. The blue barrels are free down the road.
Yeah.
The black tubs are not.
Yeah.
All the hose, all the fittings. We have hundreds of bulkheads in use right now. Hundreds of little, you know, right angle elbow barbed fittings and the sealed up tape and the tees and the PVC pipe and all the lights and the lights and the lights and the air hose and the big giant air pump we put in, which is doing phenomenal. That air pump was an upgrade from the already expensive air pump. Well, this one was like $500. And, you know, that at this point, I'm able to afford that, which rewind to 2 years ago, it would be a dream to put an air pump like that into a fish room for me, because that just was not realistic. And it has nothing to do with me other than we are doing the work here, but we can only do that because of you out there.
Yes. Yeah. And it's so cool. Like even though I've only been here a few months, like full time
on payroll, on payroll a few months.
I've been helping out like since
she's made all the labels for 2 years.
Every
She'd
label.
leave her full-time job and come here for a couple hours.
Yeah. And like packing the boxes and all that. And it's just so fun. Like when you see those same names over and over, like we'll high five each other. We'll be silly. Oh, look, it's so-and-so. They ordered again. But it's so cool to see the community and how you guys, you know, how you reach out to Tony and how, you know, his input, you know, means something to you. Like that's been a really cool thing to see, the sense of community here. And we're super thankful. I mean, you know, you're making our dreams come true.
Yes. And it's really hard to, I think, for some to understand, like, and there's a lot of people out there maybe watching this too that are, you know, kind of in the basement stage or the bedroom stage where you're trying to get something going. And it's just a big difference from, okay, this is in our dining room, and someday I want to be able to sell this online. Well, once it's actually here and now it's your sole income, there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things that have had to happen in the last 2 years. And 2025 was monumental, and it's not simple. It's not a simple process to go from that to this.
No.
And the only thing that has really been able to make that happen is the support we've received, you all. And even if you're not going to the website and buying something, just watching this gives us that momentum still.
Right.
And encouragement and everything else. So seriously, big thanks.
Thank
it is,
you.
I don't want to overdo it and be cheesy or anything like that, but
they know you. They know you're cheesy.
I've been yelled at before in the past for like overthinking, but I just like,
it's wild. So cool.
Like, it's mind blowing.
It's so cool.
It's mind blowing that you all just keep coming back and keep coming back. And it's like so touching. And when I get like an email and someone's like saying, thanks for this, or, you've really helped me out here and there. And it's like, it's not, I don't even know what to say. And we got to move on because
thank you.
It's,
so much gratitude. We're so thankful.
Yeah. It's been a wonderful year of that. And thank you so much. So number 4, a look back at our OG system, the original 8 blue barrels. So if you rewind to, it was sometime in 2022.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. The website started early 23, I believe.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe our first sales started coming in very early 23.
That sounds right, yeah.
Well, the Blue Barrel system was up and running a year and a half or more, maybe even 2 years.
Before
that.
Well,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, yeah, you're not even really thinking, because it was not instrumental. It was kind of just always behind the scenes.
Right.
I left one job, came to work with my dad while I figured out what I was going to do, how I was going to move forward. And I thought I'd take over Larry's Off-Road Center. And it just, my heart wasn't there. It was with the animals, whatever that meant. It was always with nature, always with working with some kind of like, I don't say animal reproduction, but just, that sounds so weird, but some kind of like animal, like, if I put this and this and this and this and this, and I can build some kind of thing, this nature in some capacity will multiply with inside of it. That's always been something inside of me. So basically, I've always wanted to work with the animals. And I came back to be at my dad's shop, help him out. He needed some help. And I had to decide, like, what am I doing? And I tried to dive into the Volkswagen parts. And I'm very mechanical. And I grew up in this. And I like the bugs and buggies. So that wasn't like a stretch for me to try to like think about. But it just kept coming back to this. And I think I've told the story before, but it was like going into winter. And it's like, man, like, I'm good at like that seasonal depression thing. Like winter's coming. I'm just like, the outside, I'm inside, it's cold. Right. And I thought we'll get some fish tanks basically. And it just, a short time of that being in our house, then I decided we were going
short time.
It was short relatively. I mean, we went from nothing to like 30 tanks in like a month and a half.
Okay.
Everything's got to be big. Yeah. So I convinced my dad to set up these, down the road from this shop, every day I was passing, there was this dumpster at this food. They make hot sauce there. And they were throwing away these big blue plastic barrels, and somewhere online I saw where people were using them to breed fish in. So I gathered up some of those. I convinced my dad, we're going to set this up and we're going to breed all these fish and we're going to sell them wholesale and it's going to be great. We're going to get rich.
Yeah.
Remember that time?
I remember the water plants we had. Yeah. And the honeybees loved those.
Yeah. Because we had some of these blue barrels set up outside.
Our old house.
They were water hyacinth.
Yes. Those
and they would bloom and the bees would be on them. And those are pretty neat. Yeah. But here at the shop, I had 8 of these blue barrels, and I kept expanding the area. Then we had a little quarantine tank section, and pretty soon it was like, okay,
we gotta grow.
It was a year and a half in, and I hadn't sold any fish yet. I'd grown I grew a bunch of fish. They multiplied, but really that kind of like local market for wholesaling that just wasn't going to happen. The big chain pet stores are in contracts, and you really can't sell anything to them. The mom and pop shops, they just really were like, well, I can import these guppies from, or these platies from, who knows, they have their supplier chain already kind of set up, and it's pretty cheap for them. And I'm wanting, maybe a little more, and maybe it's a better fish, maybe it's not, but they don't really have the finances or the money to drop a bunch of money. So it just wasn't really going to work out. And push came to shove. My dad says, okay, this is fine. Like, we need to start selling something, or we need to like scale this back. Because at this point I was still spending money on it. I was spending a lot of time on it. He was paying me as an employee to Larry's Off-Road. I'm supposed to be on the counter selling car parts. I'm really in the back, like looking at the fish again. And a year and a half goes by. I sell nothing. 2 years, and then we developed the Bag of Bugs, and we like, okay, let's do this. And within a few weeks,
let's see where it goes.
We kind of totally changed the whole concept of the business. And that's why it was Phillips Fish Works, is because we originally were selling fish. But we never really sold any. We sold some guppies on the website way back
at the very beginning.
And they're they've been out of stock forever, just because I don't really have that plan in place. But so
it's been cool.
Here's a look at that system and how it started. This is kind of a sneak peek. It's not all of it. I'm just going to play a little bit of stuff, and that'll be that. Enjoy. All right, here we are. The future Phillips Fish Farm is going to be in this corner. We are going to set up some racks here with some barrels and some tanks along that wall. And I've been cleaning up these barrels. So up the road from my dad's shop, where I plan on doing this fish breeding project, there is a company that makes different kinds of sauces, and these barrels are sitting outside. When they get done with them, then they throw them away. So what was in them was this pepper sauce, and the ingredients were, it's like cayenne pepper, vinegar, salt, garlic, and that was about it. So there's nothing in them that was toxic. Most of them cleaned up pretty good. Some of them ended up having the staining that just would not come off. Now I scrubbed I hit these with a pressure washer, so that just was not going to come off. But again, with the ingredients list, I'm not concerned. The water from rinsing them was clear. Okay, so I'm kind of mocking up the shelves. There's going to be 2 units. And it's probably going to scoot over another 6 inches or so. I don't know, maybe even a foot. But I've got to leave enough distance between that bench there and the shelf, because that bench is going to be quarantine tanks. But I'm just trying to mock it up. The lights are going to be hanging here. It's going to be these LED strips. Getting the racks mocked up. So I considered pushing those 2 barrels back and having a third kind of sitting off the shelf a little bit, and you'd have to build a support. But really, it just too much struggle getting back into that barrel with all of the shelving above and everything. Might be a little different if they were kind of freestanding outside or something. So I think it's going to be good. Got a lot of plumbing I'm going to run along the back. Still a lot to do. All right, so this is really coming along. I've kind of started on the plumbing. You can see here's going to be a water feed. There's going to be T's. Well, this is the sump barrel. There's going to be a T here with a valve, and here's where it's going to drain into that bulkhead down into this 2-inch pipe. Each one's going to drain into the 2-inch pipe. All right, it is March 16th and we are filling barrels. So these two are full. I filled them up just to kind of do, before I filled anything else, just to do a weight check. This has got to be moved. So they're full and I shut off the little valves to them. So now these two are, these top two left ones are filling, and then the bottom three are filling. And once they're filled up, I can shut all that water off, and then I can start the pump here. You know, this will fill up to its level, then I'll start pumping. Woohoo! All right, we are making some awesome progress. I've got the glass lids cut. Water's flowing, it's hard to see through the fog there. There's the sump. Water's pumped out up through here. Goes along the top, goes into the top four, comes around down the side, goes into the bottom three. This 2-inch pipe's the overflow. Each barrel is overflowing into there, which comes down. So I've got to cut a notch in the plastic here for the cord. I've got to build my electrical box for the heaters and also get some lights mounted up. But I got the glass finish cut today and we start again tomorrow. It's a little dark back here, but this is the heater control box. That's an outlet, needs a cover. This is the thermostat controller, and this is where the heaters will be plugged into. So this is going to have about 1200 watts of heaters, 4 300 watt heaters. So I want to be able to turn those on and off together. So they're going to all be there. All 4 heaters that are adjustable are going to be turned all the way up, so they're going to always be on. Then they're going to be plugged into here, and these 2 outlets are turned on via this controller, which is turning on and off relays. So I'll have to get a shot of inside here. But this means powers onto the unit and powers onto the pump, because the pump is plugged into this outlet. This outlet is always on. This green light, power on. This red light, which is not on, is if the unit is actually heating, if the heaters are on. So right now our temperature of the water is 62 degrees. Our thermostat is set at 40. I just don't want it kicking them on and off. There's nothing hooked up anyways. When I change that to like 75 and I've got heaters hooked on, that red light will come on, these outlets will turn on, and it'll turn on all those heaters. Yay! So our not RO unit, it's just the filters. It was an old RO unit, but I don't have the reverse osmosis membrane hooked up. It's just sediment filter and 2 carbon blocks. So this is water coming in, and then water goes out up into there and into the system. We are getting there. No fish in there. Water's been running a little while. I've got some sponge filters kind of seeding at home in some tanks, and on this bench is going to be the whole quarantine rack. I still got to set that up. I've got most of the tanks. I got 3 20 highs. I got 4 20 longs, 5 10 gallons. This 55 is going to be a little display tank in the showroom. So next thing to do is I need to run some lights underneath for, and then on top for the barrels, run lights. test the heaters. I got to run out, so I'm not going to actually hook it all up. I mean, the outlets do turn it on and off, but I want to make sure it runs well with the heaters. And then I need to build the quarantine tank stands or the rack. There's these big. All right, we are working on BB1, and we are adding some coral. These are big chunks of coral to help buffer the alkalinity of the system. So I've got decently hard water here at the shop, but I also have a lot of leaf litter and other kind of decaying organic material, and that's kind of dropping some of my hardness. The alkalinity is, I don't know, I just need a little bit of buffer in there, I guess. So I'm going to add it to the sump, and I added 2 big chunks. They're already down there. And that seemed to help a little bit, maybe not much, but I think this system really needs a lot more. So we're almost 500 gallons, not quite. But I'm going to put in roughly a pound for every 20 gallons. So this should get me pretty close to that. And if that doesn't really bring it where I think it ought to be, I will add some more. This is a beautiful piece of coral. I have all this, I've got tons of this left over from doing salt water. Now maybe it not being crushed coral, maybe it won't dissolve as well. There won't be as much surface area, but really this stuff's so porous, I think the water will get in there and dissolve it right up. So we will see what's left of it as time goes on, and we'll see if we need to add more. Whoa!
Oh my gosh!
Wasn't that interesting?
That was a blast from the past.
Blast from the past. 2022, 2021 maybe in some of it.
Man.
I'd have to really dive
What a
into it.
time.
I can't remember that far back. But
Yeah.
glad I took video of it.
Me too. And so is everyone else.
Yeah. I don't think I had a mic. The video quality was on a
maybe a hot mess, but
very
that's
old
okay.
phone.
That's totally fine.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you guys.
2026 is going to be a blast. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Next week, we've got a bunch of emails kind of already lined up. I want to do some deep dives.
The Benthic Bulletin.
The Benthic Bulletin's hopping. People are going to phillipsfishworks.com, going down there, clicking on that Benthic Bulletin button, and submitting questions, comments, things like that. So there's a bunch there, and maybe, hopefully soon, we'll be able to branch it into its own video segment, maybe like once a month or so. But I kind of want to keep it a little more up to date than once a month. So
sounds
any
perfect.
other closings? Where do they go?
phillipsfishworks.com.
phillipsfishworks.com.
Yeah.
Yep. And sign up for the newsletter. Put your email in at the bottom. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Bye. Woohoo!
Getting pumped.
Pump it up.
Pump, 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 pump. How's it go?
What?
The thing. How's it go? Get up. Up, 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 up. Ah! Something like that.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.